and welcome to the SCLD podcast. I'm Erin Dodge, and today I'm here with Dana to talk about something very cool happening this summer. And what is it, Dana? What are we talking about?
Virtual summer camp in Spanish.
In Spanish. And virtual, so it's going to be online.
Yes.
And what, who can sign up for that?
This program is open to children in grades 2 through 5, going into 2nd through 5th grade.
Okay.
And the kids need to be comfortable understanding spoken Spanish and attempting to speak a little bit of it.
Okay. And what sorts of activities and what's going to happen during this virtual summer camp?
Well, I'm very excited about it. It's basically an English version of the summer camp we've been offering for a couple of years now, Camp Read-A-Rama.
Spanish version?
Yeah, Spanish version, pardon me.
Of
Did
the
I
English
say English version?
It's the
There
Spanish
we are.
version
Yes,
of
the Spanish version of our English summer camp that we have been offering. Like Camp Read-A-Rama, there will be a science experiment every day.
Ooh.
There will be a read-aloud book every day, and there will be a craft or other activity every day, as well as some interactive camp songs. So I'm very excited.
And you're going to be helping to lead this in Spanish, and the kids can speak Spanish and practice Spanish if they're just learning to speak Spanish.
And I won't be alone. We have 2 members from the Latino community who are Spanish speaking, and they will be joining me as counselors and to make sure that I'm selecting authentic activities and camp songs and books. They are participating in the planning process for this for me. So, yeah.
And a little bit more about that. So what sorts of things can people expect in terms of authentic?
Well, we're still in the planning process, but
No
so far we know that we're going to play Mexican bingo, which is called loteria in Spanish.
Fun!
Yes, it's going to be very fun. And we can also expect to sing some authentic camp songs. If any of you guys have been to summer camp, you know that there are songs you won't find on a CD, but that children pass on to each other with a little bit of variation every year, perhaps. I remember lots that we learned. Some were just nonsense syllables, and some of them are funny. I was born one night, one morn, when the whistle went boom, boom, something like that.
Wonderful.
So in Spanish, there are equivalents. Spanish-speaking children have been making up their own camp songs too.
Sure.
So we'll be sharing some of those so that kids can take away that piece of culture that they might not find themselves in a context to learn otherwise.
Oh, wonderful. And when is this taking place?
This will be the very first week of August. It begins on Monday. It runs through Thursday, so August 1st through the 4th in the morning time from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., an hour and a half.
Okay. And they need to sign up online, and you can find this on our website at scle.org/events, and you can look up Virtual Summer Camp in Spanish, and you'll find it, and you can register there. And what else, what drew you to create a program like this in Spanish for kids?
Well, we've been doing lots of Spanish programming in our collaboration with the Latino community. We found that the library is well positioned to support families that want to pass Spanish on to their children. And a really important part of that is giving them new context to speak Spanish and giving them encouragement to read in Spanish.
And the reading part sometimes is
It's very important, yeah. If you don't go to school in Spanish, you could learn to speak and understand it very well and never pick up a pen and write in Spanish, never pick up a book and read in Spanish, have no idea how any of the words that you speak regularly are spelled. And it happens. And many second-generation immigrants find themselves in that situation and then are like, wait, I'm missing a piece of my culture. So for parents who want to pass on the complete package, we try and offer as much encouragement as we can.
Well, and thinking about this, you know, there's books are written in Spanish, books are translated to Spanish, translated from Spanish to other languages. So by learning the written form of Spanish, you're potentially have a career in writing
in translating.
And that's amazing if you know, for any kids or adults that love reading and writing.
You know, my sister works for a Spanish-speaking insurance agent, and he hits a snag whenever he has to write an email or text somebody in Spanish. So he's working on fixing that now, and we want to give kids the opportunity to fill in that skill early on.
And we also have, this has just popped in my head, but we also have Pronunciator, which is an online, I was thinking about your friend who has a business.
Yes.
And so sort of learning how to speak a language, but you're also, because it's online, you're seeing the language as you're speaking it, so you're learning the spellings and the words and all of that too. So summer camp. Summer camp is a lot of fun. My son has done a version of this in English, and I know the crafts. So will they get craft supplies, or how's that going to work?
Yes, just like our versions that we've been doing over the pandemic, kids will be able to pick up a big plastic Ziploc bag filled with all the supplies they need to do the science experiments or the craft activities, and we'll have it all organized so that the parents can pull out just what they need for today.
I remember there's like a Monday bag and a Tuesday bag, and it's all very clear and not confusing. So
yes.
And I'm sure those will be in Spanish.
Yes, the instructions will be in Spanish. Yes, but it's really important when you're doing a virtual program to have an interactive, hands-on, physical element in there to engage the children. So we'll carry on with that. Virtual programs work really well so far for the Latino community because they are not geographically concentrated in one neighborhood in the city. So getting to the valley, getting enough kids to the valley to have a fun summer camp can be difficult. But that being said, next year we're going to venture into some in-person programs in Spanish for kids and see how that goes.
Wonderful. And I know we're doing some more things in the fall too. Do you want to touch on a little bit of those so people have a little bit to look forward to?
Well, for kids, let's see, September we're going to do playground games, just like there are camp songs in Spanish.
Fun.
In Spanish, there are also equivalents to the games we play, like Ring Around the Rosie or Duck, Duck, Goose, that have a rhyme and a song to go with them. So we'll play those in September. In October, we'll be doing some, I think, I'm going to get the order messed up. So instead of saying months, I'll just list out what we're doing.
Sounds great.
There we go. We have a kids cooking program. We have a kids science program. And we have the playground games. And then we're going to have a piñata making party. And I know that one's in December. Because piñatas are for Christmas. There we are.
They're for any party. But definitely for
traditional,
Christmas.
tied to Christmas celebrations.
Wonderful.
And then for adults, we'll be offering our first ever book club in Spanish for adults.
And the book is?
The House on Mango Street, yes.
And
so book
in
translation. La Casa en Mango Street. They decided to leave that bit untranslated.
And is it Sandra Cisneros?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
I read it in English many moons ago, and it's a wonderful book. It's a wonderful book. So.
Yes, and it's very accessible for those adults who want to fill in their reading skills. The chapters are short. The vocabulary is fairly simple. It's not as daunting as reading Cien Años de Soledad, 100 Years of Solitude, for example, which I have read.
I want to say I've read it in English, and it's daunting in English. So
I got through it in Spanish, but it took 6 months.
I can only imagine.
Here we are. Yeah, take some time.
Wonderful. Well, this is great, and I know you're out in the community and you're talking to the various groups, and so anybody who has ideas that sees Dana out and about, she's always open to new ideas for programs and ways to...
one of the things we really want to do, in addition to supporting families who want to raise bilingual children, we also want to give Spanish-speaking experts a place where they can share their expertise and be compensated for it. So if there are members of the community who speak Spanish and want to share that expertise, they should definitely get in contact with me so we can dream up something new.
That reminds me, is there a meditation?
That's right, we're having guided meditation
I'm just thinking
Spanish.
about, there's an expert in meditation that's
out there at large, that's right. Yeah,
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you have a lot to look forward to in the fall, but for now, your kiddos going into grades 2 through 5 who have Spanish language skills and want to do a camp in Spanish should sign up on our website and for virtual summer camp in Spanish, and that's August 1st through the 4th. Sign up early, at least a good week early, so you can get your supplies.
Yes.
And those supplies will be available at their local library. There'll be some choices of where they can go to pick up supplies.
Each of our 11 libraries.
Okay, perfect. So whatever library is closest to you, you can pick up your supplies. Thank you so much, Dana, and thank you for the work you do and reaching out to the community and everybody in the community. No matter what language they're speaking, we're trying to reach them all, reach everybody. That's wonderful. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.